it's Mrs. Klein. I'm here for you second graders to talk about people that have been influential to our society, our culture, our world, and our country. And so I just want you guys to know that I drive a Ford. My vehicle is a Ford, and it is made by the Ford Motor Company. And so today I'm going to talk to you guys about Henry Ford, and he's the person who had founded and started the Ford Motor Company. So this is a video, it's on YouTube, that I want you to watch. At this point, you would stop and you would watch this video. It's on YouTube. The link will be in your guys' assignment, so that way you guys can make sure you get to that. And then I'm going to tell you some things about Henry Ford right now. Some things about Henry Ford. He was born on July 30th. He was born in Michigan. He lived on a farm, and he had 4 siblings. Just some information. He's often wrongly attributed for being the first person to invent the car and the assembly line, and that's not true. He was the first person to make a car feasible so that people could afford one, and to make the assembly line where it can be mass produced for vehicles. And so we'll talk, and in the video you'll see some assembly lines that are being done there. So as a child, he had lots of interest in taking things apart and seeing how they worked. He did this with pocket watches. He did this with all kinds of mechanical things. He had a real interest for mechanical type things and how do they work. So that's what kind of started things off for him. In 1879, he left his family and the farm. He didn't want to take over the farm. Well, he wasn't interested in that at all. He wanted to do something different. So he became a machinist, an apprentice, and he was working on steam engines. Then he got married in 1988, and he had a child named Edsel. There happens to be a car that he had named Edsel at one time after his child. In 1841, he became an engineer for the Edison Looming Company. This is the same guy, Thomas Edison, that we know of for our light bulbs and our things like that. He encouraged him to get into cars and automobiles. Actually, they called them automobiles back then, and to start building them. In 1896, he had created the first vehicle called the Ford Quadricycle. And this was a car that you sat in the middle, had a steering wheel in the middle, and had 4 wheels, nothing on top at all. It was a propelled car. In 1898, he built his second vehicle because he had support from Edison and selling his quadricycle. He founded the Detroit Motor Company in 1899. It didn't do so well. He kept trying to make vehicles, and they just won't work out. So that wasn't too successful. It closed in 1901. And then in 1903, he did create the Ford Motor Company that we know of today. In 1909, he was famous for introducing and inventing for us the Model T. All Model Ts were in the color of black, and they were all very much more affordable for people. Most people could afford one by then, not just rich people. And then he developed the first moving assembly line in 1913, and this is how we have our cars being manufactured today. So I just wanted you guys to know that. I'm going to show you guys a couple pictures here. So let me do that real quick. All right, here's a picture of the quadricycle. As you can see, there's no top on this at all. And we have 4 wheels. That's where we get the quad from. And then this weird steering wheel here, but he was able to steer it, and they have something on the side that kind of helps them with braking and things like that. Let's go on to the next picture. Here's a picture of an assembly line. Here they got people that are working on wheels, it looks like, and there's lots of people here. The people in the background over here, they have a different job. Everybody had a different job on an assembly line, and that's how they're able to take and put a vehicle together much more streamlined, and then make the price of the vehicle a lot cheaper than they had been previously. And here's a picture that we show of some of those Model T cars that are kind of known. So just so you know, Henry Ford has been very influential towards our society, and if he hadn't been around, what had come for us. So I'm going to have for you guys a link for you to do a timeline of Henry Ford, and then write a summary of how did he influence our country to make it better, or the world to make it better. All right? Have a good day.